Good morning, team. Thank you for joining me for Tai Chi this Saturday. Just trying to do the 5 Live World Record event with Jimmy Cho, and I bumped my video submission, so this is a good opportunity to practice some frustration release and utilize Tai Chi to help recenter myself. So last week we worked on that pause at the end for the single whip, and I want to now spend quite a bit of time introducing waving hands like clouds and really making sure that sequence goes the way you would like for it to go, so you feel successful and in control. So I'm going to demonstrate everything we've practiced up to first, then we'll do our little warm-up, and then we'll really set into the waving hands like cloud movement. So everything we've done so far looks like this. And then taking it into waving hands like clouds, we're just going to repeat this process over and over and over. Okay? We will be moving quite a bit to the left, so I'm going to start off center quite a bit just so I can get multiple reps within my frame. That way the flow looks like we would like it to. So, as always, the important thing is warming up, making sure everything's good and loose. Our ankles are ready for the delicate weight shifting we're going to do, as well as making sure our weight shift comes from the hips. So to begin, we're just going to come up, reaching overhead, elongating the bodies, stretching out that trunk. Big stretch, good breath. And then let everything gently come back down, guided by our breath. We'll do it again. All right. Shifting the weight to the right foot, so it's our strong support foot, the full leg. We'll take the empty leg, our left, and just lightly let the heel touch, let the toe touch. We'll do this 10 times. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Bring that foot back. Gently shift the weight. Coming back, right foot. A good test of yourself is, can you make the toes tap and the heel tap without making a noise? So if you're on a hard floor and you hear that tick, tock, and then there's not a clock in the room, that's you. Try to take that sound out of it, but still feel the floor and the part you're making contact with. And then set that foot back, gently bring the weight back, set the left foot out in front and do the outside of the foot and the inside of the foot. Our ankles move in a lot of directions. We want each direction to be ready. One more. Bring that foot back. Gently bring the weight over to the other leg. Strong and full, the empty foot goes forwards in light contact with the ground, letting the foot move more than the leg. And bring that foot back. Back onto the full foot of the right leg. New warm-up move. Since we're working on waving hands in clouds, we have a side step that's going to occur. So we want to bring your foot in close and out wide. Still just lightly touching the ground with the toes, keeping everything full on the support leg, not pushing yourself over by shifting with the shoulders, but we're shifting through the hips. Set that foot down, bring your weight onto that left foot, nice and full. Same exercise with the right leg, light touches, trying not to make a sound with that foot, but still feeling the ground. And as always, if you need support for this, setting a chair next to you really allows for that to happen. Very good. And then bring yourself even, reach up, stretch, elongate the body, good breath. Letting the breath guide the hands back down. If your balance is weak and you have a hard time keeping it on that one foot and you're using the support, just doing the warm-up can help build up the strength in those muscles to bring that balance to a level you feel confident in. So you can always take it into small pieces and make it work for you. So for the introduction of waving hands like clouds, I'm going to step off to the right of the camera a bit. And I'm going to begin with open and closing hands, or movement 3 as I refer to it. So with open and closing hands, we have this 3 times. And then we go into the single whip with the weight shift onto the right foot. Left hand, left foot go together. When the foot's flat, the right hand comes under the left elbow with the body weight onto the left foot. From here, waving in hands and clouds begins. You're going to push your top hand down so the palm's facing the floor while rotating the bottom hand towards you. You're going to switch positions and you're going to bring the right foot in. Don't step on the left foot, but be in a comfortable spot. Equalize your weight and then push everything from the foot to the hand onto the right side. From here, you'll rotate the top hand out, switching hand positions, shifting the weight onto the right foot. The left foot will come out, toes, then heel. When the foot is flat, everything will then go to the left side from the right side, pushing your weight from the right foot that's full onto that left foot. So there'll be a little bit of a body rotation that goes with the hands to there. And my hands are stacked above each other. Should be palm down or tilted towards you a bit, but you're looking at your top palm, elbows are in, and it's lined up with your nose and your belly button over the toes of the left foot. So it'll look like this rotation. From here, the top hand goes out, start turning the left hand, the bottom hand up, rotate their positions, step in. Once your foot is flat, body weight and everything goes back to the right side, top hand turns out, switches positions, step out, go, out, changing, bringing the foot in. So we'll go again, and we're going to hold that pause in each spot, letting ourselves be aware of what each position feels like, making sure everything's lined up where we would like it to be. So again, from opening and closing hands, And always your comfort's going to dictate how big of a step you take. So if you're not feeling exceptionally confident in that right leg, but you're able to step out, and it goes here, that's okay. Just let the toes hit first, then the heel, and you don't bring your body weight until your foot's flat. The step can be small. Just let it be where you feel the most control, and that lets you stay confident in your steps. Because comfort and control are very important to Tai Chi practice. If you're forcing it or trying to rush it, you're missing all the developments that come along with that control, the strength, the coordination improvements, all of which are very important when you're trying to manage Parkinson's disease or just the general stresses of life. So for those of you that are seated, a good way to approach this is sitting on the edge of the chair, so you're not leaning against the back unless you absolutely need it, because it's going to let you build up the core strength despite all the rotations and not being able to stand. Our balance really does start from here, so being able to do those rotation actions and push your weight left and right in the seated position can build into standing. So again, starting from opening and closing hands, just like the video I put on my Instagram the other day, in the seated position, and then single whip in seating, it's the same idea. I'm pushing down into the opposite foot of the direction I want to go, because movement starts from the feet and finishes in the hand. So if I'm going to the right, I'm pushing through my left foot and letting my right hand rotate out to finish that movement, letting that energy go, not trapping it, because energy flows. Rotating, getting the hands reset, pushing with the right foot, taking the body to the left side, finishes out. Switches. Not overextending any one joint, leaving that little bit of room left in it to accommodate for yield and redirection, and maintaining comfort. Because remember, if you have pain in a joint, you don't want to force an action to be through that painful spot. Respect that and let your comfort build up into it. Because the more you move, the more flexible and accommodating the joint will be. So taking it from the beginning, I'll start in the seated position and then work our way up into standing with a step. We have the opening, opening and closing hands 3 times, turn and push, single whip, beginning waving hands like clouds. Now this is waving hands like clouds left. There is a waving hands like cloud right. And they are only separated by an additional open and close hands. I especially like to practice waving hands like clouds for a couple of reasons. It really develops that coordination of the right and left, because while they're moving together, they're not necessarily moving in the same exact ways. It really helps to strengthen the shoulders and really open that posture up. Despite everything being here, The posture is a beautiful upright position, and it incorporates some rotation of the trunk, which lets us develop that control and awareness of movement that should occur here without us sacrificing our balance for it. So standing still, the routine would look very similar to sitting, only now our legs and our hips are responsible for more of the balance control. A little weight shift side to side if you want to start to work towards steppage, or you can just stay perfectly centered over your feet. Letting that light bend in the knee be present because we're not locking any one joint out. We want to make sure we have that ability to accommodate any forces that come onto us, be them self-imposed or environmentally imposed. Taking it now into the step to assemble the full routine for this point. And then always, as we're moving forwards, we're incorporating all the details we've been developing up until this point. Keeping the tongue on the roof of the mouth to complete that connection between the two meridian channels of the front and the back. Ensuring the weight shift is coming from here, not overextending, and being accommodating to our step and our control, as well as letting our mind only focus on the movements at hand. As we practice and continue to develop, you'll notice your breathing will start to match with your movements more consistently. Don't force that, just continue to breathe comfortably. It should be a relaxed breathing approach. So starting back with opening and closing hands, we're going to pause in the waving hands like cloud postures for 3 breaths to develop that feeling of where the weight shift starts, where the weight shift finishes, and how the arms feel with the downward elbow, yet the hands being lifted in front of us. Opening and closing hands. Into the single whip. Pause, feel the pressure, equalize everything, toes, then heel, Bringing the body weight with the right hand. The left hand does not move. Good breath. Switching hand positions, bringing the right foot in. Pause. Equalize your body weight over the feet. Help your balance out. Feel the positions of the hands and arms. Take a look if you like. Push into the left foot to shift everything over to the right side. Pause. Now you should be very full on the right leg and beginning to empty the left. Recognize that feeling. Support the body with the right leg. Move the left foot out. Rotate the top hand. Let that energy movement finish. Switch hand position, so your left hand now takes the place of the right hand. Still lined up with the right foot. Still very full on the right foot. Toes, heel, push through the right foot onto the left foot, letting everything go with you. Pause. Feel this position. Rotate the left hand. Switching hand positions. Feel the alignment of the hand all the way down to the right foot. Bring in the right foot. Very good. Push from the left back to the right. Right foot's filling up again. Switching hands. Totally full right foot. Light left foot goes out. Contact, flat. Feel that position. Left foot's still very light and empty, but the foot is flat on the ground. All the body weight is on the right leg. And push yourself across. Recognizing those postures goes a long way into developing your strength of the deep supporting muscles. And without that strength, control is hard to achieve. If your balance doesn't allow you to hold those big standing postures with the outstretched leg, stay in this general standing position and just build up the time and endurance of standing on your feet in that pause. This will let you develop that control because your weight's going to shift foot to foot, but you're not sacrificing your comfort or control to develop the strength. That's a different kind of exercise, and we'll do that in the next class. But these holds really allow you to recognize your role in your practice. So for those of you that are wondering, I'll do a back view for this sequence. Take a moment to really center your mind on your movements. Where do you notice the weight shift occurs most often? Try to center it to that area around the hips, just below the navel. Make sure that's where it's directing that weight shift, not throwing the shoulders. Where does your comfort get sacrificed in the step distance? If you recognize and feel like you overstepped, that's a good sign. That means you're really becoming in tune with the practice and have a clear image in your mind of how it should go. If your endurance limits, you can always transition down to seated. And even then, you can just take a moment to mentally picture yourself practicing these movements, and you still achieve 20% of the learning and benefits. So when in doubt, imagine you're doing it. Let your breath guide how you feel and unload any heaviness within your body. Being trapped in the house since March into February can get heavy in a hurry, but you still can reach out. And luckily you don't need a lot of space for your Tai Chi practice. So even in a small home, you can still do a lot of good. Having that clearing breath, take another breath, thinking about the movements we've developed, the postures we feel, the sequence of the hands for waving hands like clouds. I want to do the next demonstration seated. Find the position of most comfort for you. Inhaling on the lift, we'll begin. How does that feel? Calming? Good. Do you feel like you belong in the montage sequence of a kung fu movie? It's where my imagination usually takes me, is to that moment. Over the cliff with the sunset, every time. So now we've been moving to the left. Let's take it to the right. None of the sequence steps change, we're just changing directions. Commonly, everybody feels going to the right side is more challenging to the left because we've put in more practice going left. So when you practice this on your own, and if you want to separate out the waving hands component, practice it to both sides. Equalize and normalize that sensation despite left or right direction. So I'll start with opening and closing hands into the single whip. Setting up for waving in hands like clouds. The left hand will travel to the left 4 times in this sequence. This one makes number 4. And then we'll come back to the center, open and close hands again. Single whip, this time to the right. And then the right hand will travel to the right 4 times. Now I know I'm going really fast, but you can still go fast and smooth. I'm not sacrificing much else. And then take it back, going left. Control, smooth the right muscles, dictating the right movement. Going to the right. And if it still feels off, incorporate that pause. Let the familiarness of the left guide how the right should feel. And if you wanted to, you could just do that section. Open and close hands, whip and waving hands to the left. Open and close hands, whip and waving hands to the right. And just alternate back and forth, letting the open and close hands in the middle be your cutoff point. Do it until you run out of room going to the left. And then do it the same distance till you run out of room going to the right. Seated, standing, or with the step. The choice is yours. Your comfort will guide you. If you feel you should sit down, always respect that feeling and practice sitting down. Keep yourself safe. While this does help reduce your risk of fall and is generally a safe form of exercise, you need to be mindful of your own capabilities. As you practice, you'll notice growth, and then you'll be able to take it to the next level. But respect your comfort, your control, and your feelings. Be honest with yourself. It's easy to lie all the time. Have a good breath. Clear everything out. Take another good breath, breathing in confidence and control. Exhale, stress, and doubt. One more time. Take this moment to practice it. Feel it. As always, you can email me or Allison with questions. We'll get them answered. I'm going to take it back into standing with a step. And I'll go to the left and then come back to the right. If I do this well, I'll stay right where I started from. How does it feel? Comforting? Confident? Equal to the left and to the right? Those are our goals for this practice. Feeling equally as confident and controlled on the left side as well as the right side. When control and symmetry is there, it's easier to apply that control and symmetry to other things. This influences all that we do, not just our Tai Chi. So we'll go again. Thank you for joining me, guys. As always, it's lovely to see you and work with you. Enjoy your practice. Stay comfortable. Feel the control. And I'll see you guys again next week. Have a good weekend. Have a happy Easter and a wonderful World Parkinson's Day. Take care.